What's up, everybody? It's Sam here, and I just wanted to go over how to choose a class as a beginner in Path of Exile 2. I will say that I'm a beginner, and I've never played Path of Exile except for 40 minutes, and I just wanted to give you some thought process behind how I'm going to choose my class. There are 6 classes on early access that are available, and each of them have 2 ascendancies, so you kind of have like 12 classes, kind of. Sorcerer, and they ascend into Stormweaver or Chronomancer. There's Warrior, which ascends into Warbringer or Titan. There is Ranger, that ascends into Deadeye or Pathfinder. The Witch will ascend to a Blood Mage or an Infernalist. A Monk can ascend into an Invoker or an Acolyte of Chayula. And Mercenary can ascend into a Witch Hunter or Gemling Legionnaire. Now, I know when starting a brand new game as a beginner, it can be difficult to choose a new class. For me personally, it's very difficult because I know I'm going to spend a lot of time investing into that character. And so what I don't want to happen is I don't want to choose a class that I'm going to not like in about 20, 30 hours and have already put that much time into there. And then I go through that process of like, well, I've already invested so much time, so I kind of have to play it feeling, but then it feels bad either way. But the beauty of Path of Exile 2 is that that kind of matters, but not as much as in other games. In Path of Exile 2, because of the way that the skill tree works, because of the way that the skill gems and the passives work, you pretty much have ultimate flexibility with your class. So all of that to say is that your choice, yes, it's impactful, of course. You're going to have benefits of choosing the class that you want to play, mainly because of the ascendancies. If you want specialized stuff, look at the ascendancies and see how those play at the end, and then choose. The biggest thing that I'm going to advise beginners, and I'm advising myself, having not played Path of Exile 2, is just have fun. So choose the class that looks the funnest to you. Choose the class that appeals to your sense of like, oh, badassery, if you will. Like, that is like the coolest looking class I have ever seen. Those moves speak to me individually, and I really want to express myself through playing that class. Don't choose the class because Reddit told you that it's going to be the most powerful class. Don't choose the class because your friends think this one is going to be best for like FPS shooter feel likes or anything like that. Choose the class because you like it. Choose it because it's what you want to play. This game is brand new. Like, there is going to be so many changes. We're still in early access. We're still we're going to be figuring out how this game works. It's not even out yet, and people are like theory crafting so hard, and that's fine. That's how they want to play the game. But I would just say, for me as a brand new person, I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'm going to go in casually, and then I'll let myself go through that journey. If I do want to get to that place where I theory craft, where I build those crazy builds, I'll do that. But starting off for the first few months, I'm going to probably just play very casually through each of the classes, not trying to build the hardest build or the most powerful build, which I might once or twice, but I'm just going to try to feel out the game and feel out each class. Honestly, I'll play them all. I'll try them all just because I like to do that. I lean right now more towards the Warrior and possibly the Witch, maybe? I don't know. But the Warrior really speaks to me right off the bat. It's like this guy, he can just smash like super hard. The Titan is okay looking, but I think the Warrior, if I do play the Warrior, I'll probably play the Warbringer, as that looks like that fantasy of like those spirits and Warcry and the ancestral spirits coming and helping you. That really speaks to me. So I think I'll probably start with that. And then maybe Witch or Sorcerer. I haven't chosen if I would do some kind of caster. But if it does come to that, I will probably, thinking about it now, I'll probably go with Sorcerer. just because I like that whole base elemental of like lightning, fire, and sort of ice sort of gameplay. So we'll see how it goes. The ascendancies on Sorcerer don't really speak to me. I mean, Stormweaver is probably the direction I'd go. Time Magic has never been like my super favorite. But yeah, that's just kind of my personal direction and where I might go. But hey, who knows? It's going to be different for you. Like maybe you in your like Dungeons and Dragons games, or like the classic MMO classes that you choose, maybe it's Ranger for you. And like Deadeye and Pathfinder, maybe those are your fantasies that really speak to you, using poisons, extra marksmanship or whatever it might be. Maybe that's sort of your thing. Or maybe it's like a monk. Maybe you like to be like the kung fu master. You'll have like elements tied to it with the invoker or the acolyte of Chayula. I always struggle with that. I don't know why. But maybe you just like want to use your fists and your pole arm and just smack some dudes. Or maybe you are that FPS shooter player and you kind of want to bring those FPS skills into the ARPG genre. You're probably going to go with Mercenary. And I know a lot of people, from what I've read online, are leaning towards that. And that's going to be great for the game in general, because that means that people are going to come from different genres and play this game and make it even better from their experience. So yeah, the biggest point here is choose the class that makes the most sense to you for having the most fun. Don't go into a class because Reddit told you to. Don't go into a class because the ultra pro gamers who just like stream all the time and know everything about Path of Exile 1 say this is going to be the best class. Don't do that. You can if you really want, but it will probably take the fun and enjoyment out of the game for you. The biggest point for a beginner, I think, when jumping into a brand new genre like this, or a brand new game in the genre, is that you just need to go in and try to have as much fun as possible. Else the game is not going to speak to you, and you're just going to leave it behind on the shelf and go do whatever you want to do outside of it. So that's what I would encourage you. Really just choose the class that speaks to you the most, that looks the most fun. I play Warhammer on tabletop sometimes, and this is kind of the same idea exists there. Like when you go to play that game or start to play Warhammer in real life, you have to choose an army, and it's a huge investment. Some of these armies cost upwards of, $1,100, $1,200, and that's a huge investment. So you really have to know what you want to do. If you're trying to be like some super gamer and like win battles and everything, you just can't when you first start Warhammer. So what everybody tells me and what I tell everybody now when you're starting Warhammer, it's exactly like I'm telling you for Path of Exile 2. You need to choose the class that looks the coolest to you, that you'll down like 3, 4, 5 months down the road, you'll still want to look at, you'll still want to build, you'll still want to paint, and that theme, that fantasy, that lore behind the class really needs to speak to you. Because if you don't, you're just gonna drop the army, and you're not gonna want to play the game at all. The same goes for Path of Exile 2. It's really important that you choose the class that speaks to you as a beginner, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's probably gonna be Warrior right off the bat. Probably jumping into either Sorceress or Witch, possibly Mercenary if I had to, and then Monk would be last. At that point, Ranger. Actually, it would go Monk, Ranger, very last. Rangers don't speak to me very much, but yeah, that's how it'll go. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful, and I hope this little tidbit of advice is what you need to hear. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. I really want to keep making this content, and I want it to make sense to make this content. If you have any suggestions or what you would like to see for Path of Exile 2 content, let me know below. Anyways, have a great day, and thanks for watching.